I'm good. Oh, yeah.
Are you?
Am I? It's time to talk
Yep.
about where the hell is the main character. We still don't know. It's been 2 whole last episodes and we don't know where this guy is.
But Cailin.
Yeah.
Who is the main character?
But who is the main character? Yeah. All right. Ready?
So nothing bad.
Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Ed's gonna recover. Al's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I do assume, and I think I've said this by, the end point of the show.
Yeah.
They're gonna be fine.
Everyone's gonna be okay at the end, probably, maybe.
Well, trauma-wise.
Look, it's Envy. Oh my god, I love that.
Oh, it's been a while.
It's been a while since we've seen. Yeah.
Where's today been?
Who knows? Probably doing some nonsense.
What was the last time? Wasn't it just... When was the last time we saw Envy? Was when everybody found out about everything?
Last time we saw Envy, I think Envy was the one who picked Kimberly up from jail.
Right, you're right.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm recording. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's party. Let's go.
I am wondering when they're gonna find out about Celine.
I know. I'm excited.
Because right now, technically, besides the bad people, only 2 of the good people know.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Papa, you could help.
Hey, Papa.
Well, it sounds like he's going to Central, but his kids aren't in Central.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Would you be concerned about, what your kids are up to?
Probably.
He's
doing his best. Probably.
He's not, though.
And welcome back to another episode of First Reaction Fan Reaction. I am your host, Cailin. With me is my co-host,
Dara Whitman.
How's it going, Dara?
So where's Ed?
Oh my god, what a great question. Hey, we are back to watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood with episodes 42, Signs of a Counteroffensive, and episodes 43, Bite of the Ant. And we don't know where the main character is.
Well, I always thought Al was also kind of a main character.
Yeah, yes.
So, we know where one of them is.
And one of them is.
He's fine.
Our major protagonist, though, we don't, spoilers, we don't know where the hell he is.
He's fine. We should probably get his body back a bit sooner rather than later.
Yeah. That's probably a good idea.
I do kind of wonder, does, alchemy, make that, process go faster? Because, like I've said, bury the chopper. I felt like he was going for a while.
Yeah,
But it feels like alchemy kind of, ruins everything.
Yeah, it kind of helps a lot, but kind of ruins a lot, too. It's the duality of it all. Anyway, so we're going to start off by talking about episodes 42, Signs of a Counteroffensive. But before we do that, I want to quick plug the social media here. So, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, hi, how's it going? How are you? Like, comment, and subscribe. We will read the comments on the show. And you can also listen to us if you're listening to us on the go. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the major podcasty places. Be sure to listen to our audio-only episodes whenever you feel like it. And, of course, we are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff. We are at Woody Close on there. And you can give us money on Patreon, where we have some cool, fun things going on there. But anyway, I want to get started with talking about episode 42, because things are happening.
Yeah.
All right. So the last we left off, we're going to start off by following this really eclectic group of people. Yep.
That's what...
Kind of had no choice.
You gotta do it.
You disassembled him. Isn't it?
Nobody cares, Yoki.
Look at this. He
Shut
mentions
up.
that phrase again here.
Yet another term for gold. It's gotta be some kind of pattern. What are you trying to do?
We believe there's
Get
a
away, you
chance
hussy!
these notes were written in code.
You think so?
Alchemists are typically very protective of their research and methods.
We got Winry, Scar, Al, May, Dr. Marco, Jerso, Simbano. It's a whole very strange group of people. So we're going to follow them. Last we saw was they couldn't go back to Briggs because that had been overtaken by Central, and they needed to go somewhere else. So Scar had an idea of where he wanted to go. But the problem is Al's soul and body weren't really communicating well, so they were...
Was it because something happened to Ed?
May have been partially contributed by the fact that Ed was very close to being mortally wounded, and because their souls are kind of connected in such a way that may have had something to do with it. We can't really say for certain.
I mean, I feel like that's a sign that at least, so with Alec, he's fine.
Yeah.
But I kind of think that at least, Ed is okay. Because, I feel like if Ed died, then Al, I feel like that's, if Ed dies, then Al dies.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can assume that, while we still don't know where Ed is.
Yes.
And he's been 2 episodes.
Yeah.
He's at least alive.
He's alive. which is good.
It's good.
We don't know where he is, though. So...
He can reunite with Papa.
Maybe.
Who's just, like, being a dude. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. We'll get to Papa in a second. Oh, hey, bud.
Where am I? Ow! Alpha! Thank goodness you're okay. I was so scared you might not wake up. I didn't know what to do.
Aw.
Oh, so
Poor
where
thing.
are we? And why am I in pieces?
Great question.
Aw, poor thing.
That's basically it.
As for why you're in pieces, you were too heavy to carry home.
That makes sense.
That's fair.
Sorry to put you guys out like that.
Aw.
Has this ever happened to you before?
Just once, when I was trying to find you guys.
Yikes.
Well then, I can't imagine it's very comfortable being scattered about like that. Why don't we start
You can't
putting it
feel.
all together?
All of his limbs are strewn about, and why that happened is because his body's very heavy, and when he passed out and couldn't come back to, like, no one person can carry it, so they had to kind of divide and conquer. So he is still disassembled. They didn't put him back together. I guess they didn't know because I think they're partway to their destination, so they're still in transit.
Right.
So they...
That's fair.
Yeah. Which makes sense. And so... they talk about, has this ever happened before? Al says it only happened once, and that was, right before he went to go find them in the snow. And they have to, they're figuring out what all this means. So they start trying to assemble Al back together. They're like, hey, you want to be one body again? He's like, would love that.
Please, if you don't mind.
Can you hold on to this while we fix him? Let's see.
The leg
Bone's
bone's
connected
connected
to the...
Reassemble the pieces.
What'd you figure out, May?
Hey.
Hey.
Bitch!
What are you doing, May?
No.
To rearrange the pieces. What if we try connecting each occurrence of the words for gold and immortality by physically overlapping them?
She's so smart.
An immortal
Hey,
being.
hey.
This phrase
Hi,
occurs
I'm Al.
earlier
What
in
about
the
me?
notes.
Hello?
I truly
Hey guys,
don't
can I
know.
get my body back?
It's
What
fine.
overlaps here?
Now, where did I see this? Here.
And what about Aurelian?
Oh yeah, right here.
We did it?
Al's still
That's
like,
the
I'm missing a
last
leg.
one.
In the meantime, they have been trying to translate these notes from Scar's brother, and there's so many different connecting kind of lines talking about gold and immortality. And while they're kind of talking about that, in the midst of putting Al's body back together, May makes a connection, and she's like, "Oh my God, wait! You have to rearrange things and then put it back together."
She takes apart the book, and we're all like, you idiot child.
So she takes the book is just like a hand-bound kind of notebook. So if you take the binding out, which is just literally a piece of string out, the pages go everywhere. So May's like, bet, and takes the paper, like, and the pages go everywhere. And you're like, hey, dude, what the hell is that about? And she's like, no. I got a plan. And
I keep forgetting that, because, like, her voice makes it sound like she's, like, 8.
she's very small. She's small in stature, and she's very young and girlish. So she seems like she's very small.
But she is mighty in alchemy.
She is small and mighty, but yeah, she's very gifted in the ways of alchemy. She really understands all the concepts and everything. And also, she is like 13 probably, and not 8. So she's, she seems young.
So
but
for her not want to get together, it wouldn't be that weird.
it would not be weird. So just saying. Just saying.
Do you ship them?
Not particularly. I thought they were very cute, but I don't
They're
like
cute.
ship them.
Okay.
I'm just like, oh, they're kind of cute. And I think Al deserves happiness.
You can't have too much shame on you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. We're not going to talk about that any further. Anyways.
Whoa, I don't get it.
It doesn't look like anything.
I wonder if we...
Oh.
Stop ruining the notes.
No, she's got a point.
No, I know.
It can't be.
Oh.
Again?
Countrywide transmutation circle.
But what about what's gonna happen to our families, our country?
They're gonna
Aw.
die.
I'm sorry. I should have known this was nothing but an act of futility.
No.
It was...
Hey.
Is this really all that you were trying to tell me?
I mean, it's a good,
Research.
it's a lot of
See a
information.
way to stop this.
Someone just got to it first.
We're missing something.
What is
We've only
Bobby
broken
doing?
the first code, and I bet there's more.
I would love to see it if I could move over there.
Because it is kind of annoying when, like, everybody is just, like, telling you the exact same thing.
Yeah. They take all the things that have connections, put them together, and start drawing the lines between them. And then it reveals the Nationwide Transportation Circle.
Oh my god! This is, like, isn't this the first time we've seen this before?
Yeah, so at this point, this is old news. And they're like,
Fuck!
damn. Was he just trying to tell us about the Nationwide Transportation Circle?
Which
Like,
we've known about for months at this point.
It's good information. You're very intelligent for figuring it out, but like a couple people have already done that. This is really awkward. So he's still probably technically the first to figure it out because of when he figured it out. It's just been, like, years and
Unfortunately.
years, but now we are known it's old news, and so now there's like this kind of moment of despair. It says here on the wiki, Marco and the others fall into despair. Shout out Wiki Raiders. But Marco is like, damn. He's like, we tried really hard. We worked so hard to get to this point, and it's all kind of a moot point because we was all just going to the same thing anyway.
Like, oh,
Wow, can't you cover your mouth?
damn it, Yogi, you suck.
Thanks for caring that I'm getting sick.
We don't.
I can't help the fact that I'm catching pneumonia.
Who can?
Us.
Can't even tell.
That's gotta be it. You take a bad situation and you turn it around. There's two sides. We've got to put it back together and then flip it over.
Oh my god.
Where's Scotch tape when we need it?
I know.
You were right, Al.
Well, of
This
course
is
I am.
it. It's a new Amestrian transmutation circle, but it's activated through Xinghee's Alchemy instead.
Oh.
Huh.
What does it mean?
What does that mean?
What does it all mean? These children are so smart.
Smarter than the adults.
Smarter than me.
And less evil.
They figure these notes create a new transmutation circle that they haven't seen before. It seems like it shares some of the properties with the Nationwide Transportation Circle, but it's something new. And they're like, noted. This seems important.
So we don't know what this circle does yet.
No.
Okay. I mean, you do, but that's what. But like, it's something different that could probably reverse it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I thought there was a thing that I missed, and like they explained it, but they didn't, so I'm fine.
No, it's just a new. It shares similarities with the Nationwide Transportation Circle, but it's kind of like it's almost like an inversion of it.
Yeah.
So we see like kind of like the pentagram on the outside, but now it's like on the inside. Things are going out. So it seems like there's a connection to it, but we don't know. But it's something new, and that's good, which means that it all it wasn't for naught.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now we're gonna go back to Kimberly. Remember Kimberly? We remember Kimberly.
And he'd be dead soon.
No. So, Kimberly,
I do thought that by the end of this show, he's gonna end up quite dead.
we can only hope.
I have a feeling.
He's gonna be around for a while. Not spoilers, but he's gonna be around for a while. And
Like I was saying, like for the show, I basically know the ending that like it's gonna be fine.
it's gonna be fine, but we don't know in which way it's gonna be fine.
That's fair.
Maybe everything is fine for the bad guys.
Is it gonna be like the? Well, I don't think that. But I was wondering, is it gonna be like a Hunger Games fine, where like yes, we saved the day, but also we're horribly traumatized?
That's a great question. Anyway, oh, hey, that's gross.
You don't lick your own blood?
Am I supposed to?
There's no evidence that someone's.
I mean, once to taste it.
I might have taken the
Just a
wrong
little
path
taste.
It's like
after
metally.
all. Guess I'll turn back.
I mean, if you're a hemophiliac, maybe it helps. Oh no! I do like the score when it's just like,
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
hello.
And what do we have here?
A mine? A
I
mine?
must have been using this place to dispose of the excess rubble from the tunnel that Sloth has been digging.
Okay. Hello.
Hey.
You must be the Crimson Alchemist. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hey.
My name is Pride.
Hi, Pride.
Hi.
Can I help you with something, Pride?
What do you
Any
want?
develop as for now. Go ahead and carve the crest of blood at Briggs.
With all due respect, Pride, the soldiers of Briggs are much stronger and more resourceful than you might realize. It's not exactly a simple task.
Then use their strength to your favor. Sloth is nearing completion of the tunnel, so there's little time left.
Only took 400.
So it's an urgent matter.
Isn't he a place with a lot of shadows?
He's in a place with a lot of shadows. Yeah, and he discovers, like, here's some of the mines that were, this is being done to aid in the tunnel being dug by Sloth. And he's like, okay, interesting. And from the shadows, we see, Pride. Remember Pride? He likes to go through the tunnels. He's a big fan of traversing through tunnels. And he's like, oh, hey, you must be Kimberly. What's up, dude? It doesn't say it like that because Pride is kind of tight.
You must be Kimberly. What's up, dude?
Pride is kind of a buzzkill because he's very prideful. And so he's always like, okay.
I can definitely move everywhere in this whole country, and I don't have any boundaries.
Yay. It's important to have boundaries, people. Remember, it's important to set boundaries with those around you.
Yeah, like Cailin's boundary is I can't touch them.
Yes.
Especially with when there's disease around. Not in this house.
Yeah. Diseases. They're fun. No, they're not. They make me cry. Anyway, so Pride is like, hey, Kimberly, how's it going? And Kimberly's like, hey, I was actually just looking for a scar like you guys wanted me to. And Pride is like, nah, don't worry about that. You remember the crest of blood we need you to do at Briggs? Do it now. And Kimberly's like, hey,
can I get a please?
Yeah. And Kimberly's like, hey, I don't think we are ready for that. I'm not sure that's a great idea. He's like, the people at Briggs, they're tough. And he's like, nah. Now, we need done. He's like, the tunnel's just about done. Crest of blood, we need it. We got to set these plans into motion. And so then we go from there.
Well, how many crests? Do we just need one crest of blood, or do we need several?
I think the crest of blood is just the event of major bloodshed, so I don't think it needs to be several small ones. It's usually just one big one.
So just like we need a lot of blood.
Yeah.
For this to work.
Yes. Exactly.
I'm still kind of confused about how this whole thing works. So it's just like, you technically don't, you need human souls, but.
Yes.
So you need human souls, but then you need blood. But we also need human souls.
You need an immense loss of human life.
To make a giant transmutation circle.
To carve the crest of blood, which becomes an element for the big transmutation circle.
But like a smaller transmutation circle, you just need like a part of the person.
Yeah, kind of. Depends what you're.
But then you also need.
Depends what you're transmuting.
Okay, so like with Izumi, for example,
yes.
It was just a baby.
Yeah.
So they didn't need like a ton.
Right.
But then with Al and Ed, it was like a whole person.
Yeah.
So they needed a bit more.
Yes.
And then Philosopher's Stones also need human souls.
I mean the human transmutation isn't the same necessarily as like the crest of blood thing. Like the crest of blood thing is specifically an element to a larger transmutation circle, whereas we're talking about Izumi and Ed and Al in the way of human transmutation, that's a toll. So they're two different concepts.
Okay.
So like how in like the big countrywide transmutation circle you have like circles.
Yeah.
Things like the circle, think of the circle as like the crest of blood. And so it's like just like a part of the drawing of the circle. Whereas what like Izumi and now gave was more like, oh, I'm trying to pass through the gate and I need to pay something.
Oh, so they're like, so we call them both transmutation circles, but they're different.
Yeah, they're functioning differently. Like, well, you're thinking of different elements of the process.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then
they all just happen to involve bodies, blood, and souls.
And we just make Philosopher's Stones for fun?
Yeah, for funsies.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it also needs souls.
Right. And so I think we talked about this before, why we were confused about, because we haven't really circled back to this point. We're talking about the war in Ishval, and because you were like, oh, well, they're making Philosopher's Stones, so why do they keep killing the people? Because you need, like, the live bodies to make the soul. I'm like, well, they're also doing that, but they also need to kill people, and that's because that's specifically the crest of blood. So they need to do the act of killing people and having dead bodies.
So do we need a crest of blood in each spot, then?
In each of those like major locations all like the countrywide.
So
yes.
Okay, got it.
Yes. And which we kind of got discussed in a previous episode. Remember when they were in the tunnels and Fallman was talking about all
the different... Yes, but a lot's happened since then.
Yes. And so but there's these major conflicts in the country, and they're supposed to be a lot of like the genocides, the wars, the massacres, these giant massacres. That's the crest of blood, which becomes an element of the transmutation circle. which then they can use to set it to activate the circle.
Got it.
So it's just like they're drawing a circle, but the circle is drawn with hundreds of dead bodies.
Now I'm questioning, what is the main sacrifice of people who have seen the truth?
What do you mean?
Like, why do we need them specifically now? Because like,
people who've seen the gate.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I probably can't describe it well.
That's fine.
So, it's a good question though.
Yeah, because I'm saying like if it can just be anybody. Why do we need specific? Whatever. Continue.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you gain something when you've seen the truth. So whatever they need people who've gained that.
I guess which they didn't probably need when it was just like like one country.
Sure.
Xerxes a country, or
Xerxes was a country.
One country when you're trying to do like a whole or a bigger country.
Yeah.
Is Mestra a country?
Amestris is a country. Yes.
But it's a bigger country.
Xerxes is a country. Yes, but much bigger.
Got it.
Yes.
That's at least like 3 million people.
At least.
We get 1.5 million souls into our body.
Oh my god. Let's just do it again. From the top.
Do we need them as like the vessel thing? Or do we not actually need Hohenheim for the vessel thing? We just need him in the beginning to create us. And then we're like, thanks, buddy, here you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think now that Father is able to move about and do things, I don't think he needs anyone else.
He's not really able to move about. He doesn't leave that area.
That's true. Theoretically.
He's stuck there going back to Buffy the Vampire Slayer with that one, with the first main bad guy in the show where he couldn't leave the sewers.
Sure. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway.
I totally forgot the name of the main villain in the first season, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I couldn't help you out there.
You can, it's fine.
I can call my uncle. My uncle's a huge Buffy fan. It's very funny.
I can just I'll look it up later. I know what he looks like. I literally cannot remember the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Continue.
All right, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
None since we spoke. The situation is still normal here, but we've heard that Kimberly has gone missing.
Yeah, you're not gonna
You
believe
heard
this
right.
shit.
We did a thorough search through the rubble, but no bodies turned up.
Hey, where's Ed?
Are the other men that are missing Briggs soldiers?
And the Fullmetal Alchemist.
Well,
He's fine.
he's probably fine.
Said so.
So we're gonna go back to Fort Briggs. Major Miles is here, and he's like, he's talking to Buccaneer and Fulman, and kind of sharing updates of what happened in Bascule. He's like, yeah, so
Everybody's fine.
Kimberly, we don't know where he is, and some other guys are missing too.
Also,
And he's like, oh, okay, what do you mean? Is it so and so whatever? He's like, nah, it's like 2 of his guys, and also the Fullmetal Alchemist. We don't know where he is. We looked. We couldn't find him though.
You could have
probably fine.
Wasn't there a trail of blood?
Probably. Guess they didn't look that hard.
They did not look that hard.
And so now this information is going to start to get out because we have a scene. Fallman gets that, and Fallman, of course, keeping tabs on Ed, calls Breda. You remember Breda? We never see Breda is such a minor character in the terms of Mustang's team. He's definitely kind of lower in terms of screen time. But we still
care about him.
We still care about Breda.
Afraid not.
The border war at Pendleton was a massacre.
Oh.
If the military was hoping for casualties, they sure as hell got
what is
them.
up with all these massacres? I wonder why we keep doing it.
It's just like you said. It's just as bad down there. They're locked in combat with Arago.
No, not Fury. Oh, not trench warfare. That's terrible.
What's bad about that?
Nothing.
Oh, this poor kid.
Aw, baby.
Is he dead?
Thomas!
Aw,
He's dead.
Rip Thomas.
He wasn't meant for war. He was meant to be a tech guy.
I'm gonna survive this!
He was meant to work at the Radio Shack.
I won't die for this!
You tell him. Currently in West City, there seems to be some kind of, not in West City, sorry, this says it's in Pendleton, which is in the West area. There is something yes. Sorry, there's a couple different cities. I want to make sure I have them right. So somewhere in the West, there is another border skirmish with another country. We can see Breda's, his arm is tied up, so it looks like he's been kind of caught in some of the crossfire as well. And that, he says that's a massacre, people are dying there. And then he asks about in the South, They talk about Fury, of course, the young radio kid. We love. I don't know how old he is. He looks like a child every single time we see him.
Who should not really be in the fighting part of war.
No, and he's like carrying equipment. He's like running. It's like a trench. They're doing trench warfare, which is terrible. And so we see a scene from Fury. He's like, I'm not gonna die here, but the person that he's with ends up dying. It's war. What is it good for?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Did I ever tell you I read a poem about trench warfare?
Oh, that sounds horrifying.
How great is it? I was like, we had to write it because we were learning about World War I in history. Yeah. So then I wrote, and they were like, let's write a poem. And we're like, okay. And then I wrote a poem about like a point of view character of like a guy in a trench, and then he wanted to like get out and like fight somebody, and then it ended with him exploding.
Oh.
It was actually quite dramatic.
That's very
Because it ended with just BAM! And I'm like, yeah! Because I was an edgy 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Who didn't understand the ramifications of the act.
Things were so much simpler when we were younger and didn't understand the implications of things.
Well, I was just like, oh, let me, like, wouldn't that be, like, cool and edgy? Mm-hmm. When you're 14 and want the goth kids to like you.
Yeah. I
don't want the popular kids to like me.
Yeah, why? They're only popular and cool.
You're gonna be popular.
You're gonna be popular. So, Fullmetal Alchemist.
Have you been in touch with the Colonel?
Yeah. We've been using a messenger connected to the Armstrong family.
Yeah.
Bradley's got his soldiers everywhere up here, working around the clock to create hell on Earth. And the worst part is there's nothing we can do.
Hey.
Ah, it's just Sloth. Alright, Sloth's fine.
Sloth don't care.
Sloth really don't give a shit.
You're being honest.
Nope.
Tunnels connected.
Oh, shit.
I'm all done working. Does this mean I can rest?
The day of reckoning is almost within our grasp.
This is fine.
Fullmetal
Well, it's not.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Are we gonna see him again?
Maybe. Probably.
Today?
Yeah. And we get to see, we go under the floor, and we're kind of scared because who's listening? And we actually go see Sloth.
He's not Sloth again. And he's not listening.
He does not care at all. So Sloth, of course, is building the tunnel, and then he reaches a point, and the tunnel's done.
Hooray! He can go.
He complete the tunnel. He's like, oh my god, can I take a nap now, please?
Can I go into my bed and order some comfort food and just watch TV?
Yes, for the rest of his days. You know what? I hope Sloth gets to live his best life.
Can I order some, like, pizza and maybe some, like, a nice, like Alfredo pasta?
Some roast beef, a chicken, a pizza.
Yeah. Maybe some, like, Chinese food.
Yeah, that sounds...
Poke bowl, that sounds nice.
That sounds really good.
Some Indian food, some Mexican food.
Maybe Sloth doesn't have the worst idea. And, so now maybe
those, like, pizza cones.
Oh my god, I've never had one of those.
Neither have I.
I wonder if they're good.
I feel like you can only find them in like a beach town, like a carnival, because I never see them anywhere else, or like a fun, quirky place.
Yeah.
Can I get some mozzarella sticks?
I go for some fair food. That'd be fun.
Is there a fair? It's winter. We're not gonna get a fair anytime soon.
It's gonna be a while till we get a fair, but that's okay.
Is Ren Fair food as good as fair food?
I enjoyed it when I went.
I need to go to another Ren Fair. I haven't been to one in about 10 years.
We come down to the one in Annapolis. It was a good time.
Okay.
Anyway, so yes, but this is really a huge step, because one of the major parts about like this whole plan to turn the country into a big transmutation circle is to have that circle finished. So the tunnel is done now.
It only took 400 years.
Yeah.
How long did it take?
Probably a long time. I mean, it's not just the act of digging the tunnel, it was the act of expanding the country to gain the land.
Oh, so maybe more like that. 200 years?
So, I mean, it's probably a little bit of both. It's probably like a little bit of building and then like get the land, a little bit of building, get the land.
I do kind of wonder I do kind of want to know like this point, like, so right after the Xerxes thing, like how did we get to like we're in charge and we can take over stuff?
It's a good question.
I would love an episode on that.
Yeah, some more backstory.
Yeah.
The flashback episodes are good. I enjoy them.
I do too.
Yeah. Let's learn more information. And so anyway, that's where we're at. The tunnel's complete. What's gonna happen next? We're gonna go back to a very interesting place. Remember Lior?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey everyone! Go ahead and load
That's her!
Take a lunch break.
Where the fuck have you been?
friend.
You know, Rose, I'd love to try your 3-meat pie sometime.
Simpler times.
But would you please give just a little bit of food to these children?
Well, of course I'll feed them. But you have to eat too, okay?
Stew. It looks disgusting.
It looks delicious.
You know what?
Hey,
Work on what we
Rose,
can.
Pilot high.
You know I can't. Everyone gets the same amount.
Excuse me, miss. May I have some food?
Papa! Really hard that we saw in this first episode of 2003, second episode of Brotherhood, that town that's like in the middle. It's like in the south somewhere, you know.
I thought all the people were dead because they killed each other.
Yeah, last time we saw it, it was a rough go of things. But now it actually looks like it's better. I mean, everything is still like...
But you know what?
Rubble.
These people, like, they got a bunch of lemons, and they're making it into lemonade.
They are.
Good for them.
And also stew. So,
where
of course,
is that stew coming from? Where's the water from that stew?
I don't know.
I'm assuming it's not the toxic stuff.
Hopefully it's not the toxic stuff, but they're doing their best. So we're kind of in Lior in the aftermath of the fallout, of course, of Father Cornello, the Church of Leto, and the uprising that came after that, and of course the uprising that was only exacerbated when the troops from Central came in. And so now we're kind of at a point where we're rebuilding. So everyone in town, everyone who's left is trying to rebuild the town, and we get to see Rose. Oh my god, it's Rose.
Remember?
Do you remember Rose?
Yeah, she's trying to take, like, Ed away from Windring?
No.
How old is she?
She's fine.
How old is she?
That's a great question. I thought she was older.
Because wasn't she, like, engaged?
Yeah.
And she was, like, and, like, Ed's, like, 15, 16?
It says here she's around 17, 18.
Okay, but...
Yeah. Just enough.
I guess, like, in that time period, you could have been engaged at, like, 17 or 18.
Yeah, probably. In, like a small, poor town. Yeah,
was she engaged? I forget, like, because I felt like...
I think in the one show she was engaged, in the other show it was a boyfriend.
Okay.
I think it was different in both versions of the show.
Yeah.
But she was in a committed relationship, and then he died, and then that's how she fell into a toxic religion. No one else has ever done that before.
But now it seems like she's actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, now she is being kind of a caretaker of the town. She is helping to distribute food to everyone that she can. Of course, they have to ration it because they don't have enough for... they do have enough for everyone, but they have to be very mindful about it.
Yeah.
And so we see her really just trying to... In the same, I think, food stand that we see in those opening episodes of the show. And she is standing there with some familiar characters that we've seen before, just giving out food. And in kind of off screen, we hear someone like asking for some food. When we turn, it's actually a Van Hohenheim.
Oh.
It seems like he has been traversing through the desert. It's very similar to how Ed and Al got there in the first place. Originally, of course, they were just traversing through, and Lior's kind of located more in like this oasis in the middle of like kind of a really harsh environment. And so it seems like Hohenheim's been kind of doing a similar thing. And
but it sounds since we know he can't die, so it sounds like you can get to the point of death.
Yeah.
Which sounds very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. Yeah. So I don't think, he's probably not going to starve to death. But
I mean, feeling like
being
you're
hungry sucks.
It does.
So we get it.
I feel like you could.
He still needs to eat though.
I guess like I think of just like you're get to the brink of death, which I feel like is uncomfortable.
So
where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Great question.
I'm not really from anywhere.
We don't mean to pry. We're just surprised to have a tourist. Most
also,
people
Lior's
tend to avoid Lior.
A little bit better?
There isn't much left here.
They're working on it. You know what?
They're working on it.
They're powering through the trauma. Good for them.
Cooking is a good
You can learn something, dude.
I just wish there was more I could do to help out around here.
Don't underestimate yourself. A delicious meal and the smile.
Hey, you look like some really attractive younger guy that I met once.
By the way, I hate to impose any further than I already have.
Girl, he is too old for you in many, many ways.
Which
How old is
church?
I'm actually looking for the Church of Leto where the riot started.
Why? It's probably got a plan.
Hey, what's the plan? We're gonna break something.
This is what's left of it. There's nothing left inside either.
Do you know if there's a passage that leads underground?
Yeah. I can show you where it is.
Oh.
Their plan?
Oh, is that a dead rat?
Those are annoying.
That's icky. And so Rose and the guy who's at the food stand, he doesn't have a name, I'm realizing, and I feel really bad for him because he seems like a cool guy. He just doesn't have a name.
Guy?
Food stand guy. Yeah. food stand guy. So they are bold enough to take him to the kind of the ruins of the church. We can kind of see the remnants of the transmutation that took place in Ed's kind of final battle with Father Cornello. And they go to the basement because, Hohenheim is like, there's got to be something underneath this. Hey, can we go? Is there a lower level?
Also, quick question. Does Papa know, like, that his sons were the one that kind of, like, not led to the destruction, because it's probably going to happen anyway, but, like, kind of, like, took down the religion?
I'm not sure if he knows that, actually. It's not stated either way.
I feel like Papa should know what his sons are up to.
Mm-hmm. Probably. But Papa is not always a great Papa, as we've seen. He's doing his best, though, which I don't mean he's doing well. He's just doing the best that he can.
Look, he's been through a lot in the last 400 years.
Yeah, he's been through a lot in the past few hundred years. So I'm not giving him a pass, but I can understand where he's coming from. So
God, if he had therapy.
I don't know how a therapist would know where to start with him. He'd be like, so 400 years ago, and there was like, okay, you're not going to believe this.
I was there when Xerxes got destroyed. It was kind of my fault.
Yeah, I was real unfortunate. So I had this friend. I was like, tell me about your friend. He didn't have limbs, and he was a weird fuzzy guy in a glass jar. I'd be like, okay.
Why are you talking about your recent life? Are you married? Yeah, I had some kids.
He's like, well, not legally.
I was legally married, but I had some kids. They're bastard children, but I love them. I don't show it. And then my wife died, and then I had just left them. And then there was like, excuse me?
He's like, okay, all right,
This is gonna
be a long session. Yeah. Seems like you need a lot of recurring sessions, buddy. Anyway.
And what's this?
The water turned toxic. No one's really sure how it happened.
So what are we drinking? How are we making stew?
How do we make this stew?
That this was put here to keep people from going any further. So
luckily, I'm not people.
Hey, what are you doing? That stuff will kill you.
That's fine. Oh, he can also do that.
How Jesus of you.
It's some kind of miracle.
No, not again. That's what got us here in the first place.
That's alchemy.
Oh, she learned.
Good job. Finally, you learned something.
Good job, Rose. And we can see there is a rat floating in it, and they explain that, hey, this filled up with toxic water. We don't know what the deal with that is, but we're not going to go down there. And Hohenheim is like, no. It seems like someone absolutely doesn't want you to go down here. This seems intentional. So he uses alchemy to build a path.
But it's the same alchemy that Father uses, and then he doesn't need to go meh.
Yeah.
Or make a circle. He just kind of goes, yep.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about Hohenheim is that he can basically create by walking. I think that's probably part of the fact that he is a walking philosopher's stone. So he doesn't need to visually form a circle. He just kind of starts making it as he goes. And the food stand guy is like, oh my god, it's like magic. And Rose, who has learned and grown, is like, no, it's alchemy.
We learned.
She learned something in the midst of all that chaos and people dying.
It's
fine.
It's unfortunate when something traumatic has happened for you to learn something. But
yeah,
sometimes that's how it is, bro.
That's just how it is, man. So true. So he goes down to the tunnel and starts investigating.
I feel like he's gonna do something to fuck up the plan, isn't he?
He certainly went all out making this.
Hopefully.
Well, Father was all like, hey, we're almost done. I sure hope somebody else doesn't fuck it up. Hey, what's that? Is that pride?
Watch out. Yeah, you can't outrun that guy.
Does pride know stuff?
Well, that didn't even slow it down.
Correct. I don't think that's how that works.
Whoop. Yeah, you need to close the entire thing down. Shut her down.
How much does the homunculus know about Hohenheim? Interesting.
You must be von Hohenheim.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that this must be the edge of your container. You'll die if you pass it. Correct. It's not much different than your flask, is it?
I'm guessing that you can only move freely within these tunnels in Central City. Am I right? I'll take that as a yes.
Then we see Pride again. Oh my god, Pride is here, and then starts kind of a chase scene. So we kind of see the shadows creeping in, and then it becomes like a whole sequence in which Hohenheim is running and he's trying to stop. So he's like, as he's running, you know, putting like rocks and trying to obstruct the way. But because Pride can just, you know, really go through like all these crevices and slip through, you know, he's almost gonna take over Hohenheim.
Oh no, I guess he can't be stopped.
Yeah, except that Hohenheim then finds the entrance to the tunnel where he just entered and goes there, and it stops Pride in his tracks. And then Hohenheim then is able to comment and it's like, oh, you're only confined to your container.
Right.
So we know Pride is insanely powerful, but one of Pride's limits, of course, one, and he can't work in pitch black, and two, he cannot work outside of his quote unquote container. He has like a set space. So in the same way that the original homunculus, so like Father Pre-Father, was just a little guy contained to a flask. Almost if you engorge that flask and make that the circumference of the country in the way of the tunnel, that's where Pride has to kind of center himself.
Yeah.
So just inside the tunnels and within Central.
Because that's where his base is.
Yes, exactly. So that's kind of the limits.
So what you're saying is that Colonel Mustang and Hawkeye and that team should probably, I don't know, leave. Central City, and then they can like plan better, because as long as they don't go in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So really, like, he can't hear from, like, he can't, like, he said eyes and ears everywhere, but I'm kind of thinking, like, if they're like not in Central City and not in the tunnel, are they safe? They're safe.
They are, yes.
So mainly in Central City, that's where eyes and ears are listening.
Yeah, but it's still, I mean, a lot of stuff happens in Central, so it's
I know, but I'm thinking maybe we could leave Central.
Yeah, and just not worry about that. So yes, and then we kind of get more into the makeup of the sins.
Why Central City though? As like
what's
a whole?
wrong? Why the silent treatment?
Proximity where he is.
Did I hit a nerve?
Ha ha! Suck it.
Yeah, get wrecked, Pride.
Are you angry?
I'm never angry. Anger does not exist within me. I have no need of such things.
My messing
I
with your
left
pride.
all necessary emotions within Father.
There are 7 deadly sins within man. Lust. Greed.
Yeah.
That's not the greed we know and hate.
Gluttony. Envy. Wrath. And of course, pride.
Didn't we know that?
We knew that.
Thank you.
You're obviously the first one that he separated. Pride was his strongest trait.
It's true.
And
nice.
You are the pure essence of your father.
You're just like Odette.
You come with me to see Father.
Pride kind of realizes upon looking at Hohenheim is like, oh my god, you're Hohenheim. Nice to meet you. He doesn't say nice to meet you. But he's like, you're Hohenheim, nice to meet you. And then, so Hohenheim tries to kind of figure out who Pride is, because, you know, Pride to him looks very similar to the original homunculus's first kind of incarnation. And then
I remember you caused me a lot of trauma.
Yeah. And then they start talking about, you know, Pride who can't kind of cross over that boundary. Hohenheim's like, oh, are you like angry? And Pride's like, I don't get angry. And so he's like, I'm Pride. That's literally like my thing. So then they kind of talk about how, you know, this idea of that there's like, oh, there's like 7 kind of human emotions, or the 7 deadly sins. Shock, awe, horror. And this idea that Father kind of removed them from that aspect of like his character, his humanity, and then made them kind of took them out of himself and then made them into separate beings.
Wow.
So the idea that the first thing that he took is that he had a lot of pride within him, so he removed the pride from himself and then made Pride, or Selim, or that first incarnation of Pride, and then he proceeded to do that with, you know, gluttony, sloth, greed, lust. Who else am I forgetting?
What is it? Pride, gluttony, sloth, greed,
envy,
and
who am I forgetting?
Gluttony. Pride, gluttony, sloth, greed, Envy, lust. Wrath.
Oh my god, I always forget Wrath. And which is, I mean, and that's why, like, when, like, in the Wrath origin story, Father's like, oh, do you want to be my Wrath? So it's like this idea of Father may have, like, shared something with Hohenheim in the means of humanity, but he's like, nah, fuck that. And then he, like, decides to remove those, like, kind of primal human aspects and make them into, like, his children.
Also, isn't technically Pride then the second homunculus?
Don't worry about it.
Or, I mean, we can say that, like, the father homunculus is patient 0.
Yeah. Yes, which would make them Pride, like, the first, like, homunculus of his kind.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
You're forgiven.
So, anyway. I imagine Envy was created not long after, because Envy specifically has the souls of Xerxes people in him.
It kind of sounds like they probably were created first, and then maybe, like, Gluttony and Lust, and then I feel like the ones that were made from humans...
Yeah, I mean, like, Wrath
is
the youngest, but I mean, not counting
Greed.
Like, Greed, Ling, but I think Greed existed for a couple 100 years because he makes that comment, I think, to Lust. But I mean, they were all kind of created.
I feel like I thought Greed at some point said he was like 600 years old, but I guess that can't be true.
That's a good question.
Well, because like Father didn't come until about 400 years ago.
Yeah, hold on.
So I feel like that can't be true. Because it sounds like he couldn't actually. Like, it sounds like he wasn't even created.
Yeah, it says around 200. That's what I thought. I thought he said 200. Anyway, it's around 200 years old. Good times, good times.
Is it?
Anyway, so yeah, so that's we get some kind of vital information there about Pride, kind of where his abilities kind of start and end, and also how the homunculi came to be.
Don't try to rush me, Pride. I don't need an invitation to call on him. But you can give him a message. Tell him Slave 23 will be dropping in quite soon.
Yes, I am waiting for you.
Interesting.
Uh-huh. Oh, I thought we were going to get to the credits. I'm back!
Oh, here he comes.
Hey.
Yes, dangerous and disturbing things not meant for ordinary people. Please tell everyone to stay far away from here.
Oh yeah, we already were? Because of that toxic water.
What exactly were you doing in
Water.
there?
Sending a declaration of war.
Hohenheim kind of leaves. He's like, all right, well, I'm outies.
Bye.
And he's like, hey, tell Father that Slave 23 will be visiting soon.
But first I need a break.
But also, I'm going to go get some soup. Bye. And then it's very funny because he leaves, like, that area, goes back to where Rose and the food stand guy are. And he's like, yeah, don't go down there. And they're probably like, we weren't going to. There's toxic water. He's like, don't tell anyone.
Think of the children. You could just, like, jump over that little thing.
Yeah. And so Hohenheim then destroys the bridge and then explains that he went to go make a declaration of war. So fun stuff. We love to see it. Anyway, so we're going to go back to Briggs at this point.
Well, anyway, I think some terrible coffee should warm us up. Enjoy it.
Hello?
Hello? Oh!
Why? It's Drachma!
Guys, we got bigger problems.
Oh.
Drachma, can you just, like, go away?
An attack from the north. All men, prepare for combat. I repeat, Drachma has declared war.
Oh, that's how we can make the crescent thing. That's upsetting.
Blood. Yep.
That's upsetting.
Yep.
Hey, Drachma, guys, go away for your own safety.
Good timing, Mr. Kimley.
And
Oh, you
a
dick.
number of my top men already stationed inside the
You
fort.
tricked them.
They'll spring their treachery when the fighting starts.
So he's the
And soon
traitor.
Chaos should weaken them from
Or
within.
just like that.
My country has long Fort Briggs will belong to Drachma by nightfall.
Not the evil Russians.
Let's send a declaration.
It's Soviet Drachma.
And so say we give them a nice fireworks show for starters.
In Soviet Drachma, we all die. Because somebody tricked us.
Oh my god.
But luckily our favorites aren't there. Well, some of our favorites are there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, I like Miles and Buccaneer. And Paulman.
We can get them out. Actually, all of Armstrong's team. Get out.
Drachma has declared war just to be fun and cool and interesting.
Well, clearly it's super easy now that we can just go across the wall and then we'll be good, right? Nothing will happen?
Yeah, nothing bad will happen. It's fine. We actually don't get to see the end of that.
Yeah, but I have several questions, but I think we'll...
Yeah, we're almost done with the synopsis here, and then we'll kind of go back. So, yes, we see kind of the Drachma forces show up, and we see the Drachma commander, who is like, oh my god, hey, this is going to be so easy now that the northern wall is gone, meaning that they have intel that General Armstrong has fled the coup, and so they're like, oh, this is going to be easy. They don't have their main commander. We're good.
Thanks.
And then he turns to thank the person for that information. It turns out it was Kimberly that gave him that information. So Kimberly...
Who definitely just betrayed his country.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. He didn't want anybody else to die.
Yes.
That's on that side, right?
Yeah, so Kimberly, which is very funny because he does it at... Like, he's following orders from his country to betray his country and then to instigate a war, which would, in theory, carve the crest of blood. And so I think we're left to think that, oh shit, Kimberly's planning for Drachma to come in and then kill everybody. We'll see how that turns out next episode. But
why didn't he just plan that? That feels like, I guess he didn't care.
Yeah, I mean, Kimberly essentially doesn't care who lives and dies. Kimberly just cares about like what's going to happen next. So
this is fun.
Yeah. So Drachma is going to instigate the attack, and then I think we cut to a credit scene from end credits there, and then we come back. The end credit scene is at this town of, I believe it's Ozbek.
Dr. Marco and Scar are hiding out in the slums of Asbeck Village.
You made the right move by telling me this, Zampano, and I promise that
hey,
you'll be
dude.
protected.
Quick question. What the hell?
Dr. Marco. Things are starting to look up.
Are they? Yeah, kind of.
Zampano makes a phone call to Central and actually calls up Envy directly and is like, yo, we got Scar. Oh, we got all these other guys here. You want to come pick us up? And it seems like to us that Zampano just betrayed his new group, which is not very nice of you, Bebop/Rocksteady.
What a dick.
What a dick. Anyway, that's that episode. Dara, thoughts? Because I feel like we covered a lot there. Yeah.
Where's Ed?
Oh, great question. I don't know. Not sure.
I mean...
Couldn't tell you. It's not... No, we don't see a lick of Ed.
For here. 2 episodes.
This episode or next episode. Spoilers, but yeah.
I mean, it's nice to know that, like... I did find nice that, like, Pride is a boundary, so then we can, like, work... It was nice that we avoid to work around it, but then also we don't... Like, the mains don't know that yet.
Yeah, but it is good to know that Pride is not all-powerful.
I mean, also like, some of the mains don't even know who Pride is.
Yeah.
Only really, like... I mean, like, besides, like, Hohenheim, it's Hawkeye and Mustang who know.
Yeah. Yes. So. But, yeah.
And Ed is dying somewhere.
Ed is nowhere to be found, but probably alive, which is great. Probably, mostly, kind of. So we'll...
He's at least alive.
He's at least alive, which is...
Might be in a coma.
Yeah. He might... We don't really know what he's up to. We just know that he is probably mostly alive, maybe. So yeah, that's that episode. So a lot of fun things. We got impending war.
I feel like the next episode was more fun, if we're being honest here.
Yeah. So you want me to do some trivia, and then we can get on to the next episode?
Yeah.
Nice. This episode is adapted from content in chapters 77 and 78 of the manga. The array that appears in the background of this episode's title card is the alkahestric reverse. That's the inversion of that big transportation circle. The time span of Miles returning to Briggs is a tad less clear in the anime when compared to the manga. In this episode, Miles just says, we did a thorough search of the rubble and could not find Edward Elric, implying that some kind of time had passed, but it's never directly stated. In the manga, however, he clearly states it has been 10 days since Edward's appearance. This is vital as it also gives Kimberly 10 days to go and fetch the Drachman army and makes it a bit more clear as to how he was able to bring them so quickly.
So we do have establishments that, like, time is passing and a good amount of time is passing, but, like, we're just not really showing it properly.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was, like, I feel like with some stuff, it was, like, I think in the next episode, it was, like, a bit confusing, like, with the ending.
Yeah, and we also don't know, like, how long, right, it's taking to get from point A to point B in a lot of things, and especially in the way as well that people are showing up in places that are way far away from things. It's,
right.
The amount of time is
I mean, like, if you're on a train...
Yeah.
Because there's a train in the north.
Yes, there is.
So, like, if you get to a train station, then, like, it would take a significantly less time. But, like, maybe, like, a couple days, I think.
Yeah.
I do. Have you ever wanted to go on a train that, like, you can sleep on?
Yes. I've seen videos, though, of the things, and I, like, they kind of, some of them skeeve me out, because, like, you get those little, like, you can get a little room to yourself, but then, like, the toilet's, like, literally in the room. You have to, like, lift up the bed to use the toilet, which freaks me out. I like my separation between, like, bathroom and bedroom. I'm bougie like that, I guess.
This is why you can never do a van life.
I couldn't do van life. Van life scares me.
Unless you do like have like one of those like $50,000 like.
At that point, you just get the Winnebago.
No, like you know those like when you see them on like TikTok or Instagram where it's like $50,000 things where it like looks like a house in a Winnebago and there's like a bathroom, like a nice bathroom.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, I couldn't do that. I'm very stressed out about making sure there's adequate bathroom situations in places, which I think is not that weird.
I mean, it's not. I think some people that I've read who do van life stuff, they kind of just like pay memberships to gyms.
Yeah.
And then just like go to a gym and take a shower and go to the bathroom and then just like make sure they don't need to go to the bathroom before they go to bed.
I mean, but sometimes they have like those like composting toilets, which is just a litter box. So like that's fun. Anyway, not to judge people who do van life.
No, I admire it because like it sounds like a fun idea, but like I need plumbing.
Yeah, I need like indoor plumbing, and I don't want to. Also, I don't have to like dispose of my own waste. That's why I like indoor plumbing. I'm just like, bloop, and then it's gone. We take a lot of that.
I am also,
granted.
but I think I am one of those people where like if I'm in one of like a difficult situation where like something gross like that has to happen, I just do it.
Yeah,
I have gotten like rats out of swimming pools. And like had to clean up like dog crap before, so like I don't like doing it, but like I've done it.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, more power to you.
Maybe like a week in a van, but like we stop at places.
Yeah. Just like a short.
How about like a week in a van, but we also stay at hotels.
Yeah. That's every so often.
I'm planning my Route 66 trip one day.
Oh, I'm excited for the Route 66 trip whenever you do that.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
It'll be fun. Anyway, I think we should probably talk about the next episode.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 43, Bite of the Ant.
Woo!
Stay tuned. Yay! Yay! Woohoo!
Hey, where's Ed?
I'm having a great time. Got a great question. Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
Bye.
That's sweet of you to say, but I don't know about that.
Rose. I like how Rose is wearing like a hoodie, even though we're supposed to be in like 1920.
Oh no!
Oh.
Major Armstrong sad.
Major Armstrong, don't be sad. I love him.
Is his sister gonna be mean to him?
Probably. That's just how she shows love. Probably, maybe.
Is that how that family shows love?
No, it's just Olivier is special.